My name is Romeo Daley. I'm 94 years old. I was what is known as a combat infantryman. In May of 1950, I turned 18 years old. I left the job I had, walked down the street, and joined the Canadian Army. While I was in Korea, that I'm not very proud of, but there's a lot of things I did in Korea that I am very proud of. I was one of the Canadians that started a school for orphan children, a school for women, and unless you have been there, you have no idea what it's like. And the people that suffer the worst are the women and the children. You have no idea what I seen, what they did to women, what they did to children. PTSD for about 20 years, and today I can talk about it. I couldn't talk about it before. And I think what we did in Korea stopped that. And of that, I'm very proud of being the first delegation. And I don't understand why. It could start all over again today. Well, I would like to be remembered as someone that did something to stop the spread of communism. If you take a look at your geography and the proximity of Korea, if the communist forces had taken Korea, Japan is just a step away, and then Okinawa, and then Australia. Today we could be surrounded by communists or be part of the communist regime. I like to say because the way I was raised, it was the right thing to do.
My name is Andy Barber. I am Canadian. I'm 92. I'll be 93 in about another 5 weeks. My job was in the Royal Canadian Navy aboard, and my job there was as a leading seaman communication visual. And for the 8 years that they're still technically at war. And I'm just hoping that it doesn't break out again. War is the most disgraceful and terrible thing that ever bestowed upon mankind. It has no winners. The people that suffer the most are women and children. There's nothing gained, very, very little gained. All of that really accomplished. Over 2.5 million people were killed in that war. In Canadians, of course, 516, but the Americans took an awful pasting. Over 34,000 American troops were killed. And over about another 50,000 were wounded. So, and what for? I would like to be remembered as one of those guys that stuck their finger in the dike to stop the bleeding, stop the water coming through. I was at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth, and on the way back I was transferred or posted to Heights MCS Haida, and Haida was going to the Korean War whether I liked it or not. So I could have been going to the Barbados, I could have been going back to England, but no, they pointed this thing towards Korea, and I was aboard that ship. I never told that I'd be going, but they were always looking for more experienced sailors to work in a war zone. And so that's why I was on a Haida doing it whether I liked it or not.
My name is Ronald Zebrock, 101 years old. I was a radioman, 3rd class. 1946, when I was discharged, I joined the Navy Reserve. And 3 months before my enlistment was up, Uncle Sam activated many of us for Korea. Mostly the war in Korea was boots on the ground war. And they're the guys that really won the war for Korea. Well, like when I joined the reserve, my 2 Marine brothers said, "Don't you know that you can get called back to active duty?" And I said, there won't be any more war. Famous last words, huh? Well, that's a tough question because basically I wasn't as much a Korean veteran as these guys that were boots on the ground. So it was an experience that I'll never forget. But the thing I like is that Korea never forgot, and they do so much for Korean veterans in Canada, especially when they show their motto like they did in that picture, "We shall never forget you." And they haven't. And they show their respect for that and all the different things that they do for us. And that's what I'll always remember about the Korean War.
That was all my question. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
And remember, it is not Canada's forgotten war. It's the forgotten victories.